Ja, we zien wel. Ja. We zien wel.
Between this bridge and the next. Man, and it's taxes on all the grain was collected to the city of Ghent to more international look as well. Saint-Nicolas juste au milieu et la cathédrale Saint-Bavon tout au fond. Et l'église Saint-Nicolas ici juste en face de nous, c'est le bâtiment plus ancien où les documents plus importants étaient stockés aussi. Inside we can see a reconstruction of where they found the painting back in that 1930. Already one of those panels was stolen. The justices. It was stolen by a guy living here in Flanders. So there's a big building on the left hand side. It's an old Dominican monastery from the 13th century. And in the 16th century it's also been used as a library. And in the 16th century we had a big war going on here in between the Catholics and the Protestants. It's called the 80-Year War. Because they were one of the richest guilds at the time, because everybody drank beer here obviously. And they were able to build this church, and the fathers and the pastors working in this church on that specific day in 1566 when the Protestants came to the city of Ghent, they were able to get some cases of beer from the guild of the brewers. They stored it behind the altar and they gave it as a bribe to the Protestants trying to ravage this church. And the Protestants, they were already a little drunk whilst raging to the city. So they took that beer and they left about 80% of this church intact. So if you visited the inside, it's one of the most beautiful and still original interiors of any church in the city of Ghent. Together with the St-Bavon Cathedral. They also left that one intact because there was a lot of art there. They left the Adoration of the Mystic Lamp also intact. Maintenant des bâtiments jaunes et des bâtiments blancs ici à gauche, datent du 18-19e siècle. Le un des brasseries du 16e siècle est toujours là, c'est l'hôtel Marriott juste en face de nous. It was filled with breweries. Now the most white and yellow buildings they date back to the 18th, 19th century. But the Marriott Hotel on the left hand side, this was still a brewery from the 16th century. And if you look closely, it has two golden swans on the facade as well. And they symbolize what else you could find there, because it was not only beer at the time. Because normally when two swans swim towards each other, they form a little heart with their necks. So that symbolizes eternal love. The ones, they were the local ones from the city of Ghent. The unfree ones, they were the foreign ones. And they couldn't navigate all the way to the city center, although they did have their guild house in the city center. It's the yellow house on the left hand side with the ship all the way up top. And the people making the facade really pretty. They put two beautiful little lions on either side and two anchors in the middle as well. And then they were also asked to build two beautiful dolphins on the top floor. Although looking at those dolphins right now, you'll realize why a mason working in the city of Ghent in the 16th century never seen a dolphin in its life before. It's the river Lys goes into the river Scheldt, and that was the first harbour of the city of Ghent in the 9th century already. That part's quiet. And it's the oldest quarter of the city center. It still has the same street layout as in the 13th century. And at that time it was mainly the area where the rich and the noblemen lived. It's also home to this yellow house on the left hand side. It was one of the many gods houses built in the 14th century where we took care of the elderly and the sick and the poor. At a time where medicine wasn't that advanced, you could say it was basically a hospital. was enlarged a little bit to let the Canal de Lieve pass through. You were in the 13th century, and you took a boat from Bruges and you sailed all the way to Ghent. This was the first castle you would have seen. Genre après son deuxième croisade en fait. Et maintenant, Château d'Idesbald. Et au 15e siècle, comte de Flandre, comme Prinsenhof, or under a boat. It's an old Flemish word for a lock in a canal. And this was the first out of 11 locks on the Canal de Lieve between the city of Ghent and the city of Bruges. And up until the 19th century, you were able to sail all the way to Bruges through this canal. Although we can't anymore, so we have to turn around. Les chambres sont aussi moins chères que les autres ici au centre-ville. So finish off our tour. After that, every year in November on the same date, all the students of the university, they